Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Redskins Talk TV. This is your host. My name is Dre. If you haven't been here, I want to give my assessment of the game. Game was just over about 45 minutes, an hour ago. We lost to the Detroit Lions. It was a heartbreaking loss, primarily because we're still seeing some of the same characteristic things from the defense that are hurting the team. And I know there's three phases to the game. There's offense, there's defense, and then there's special teams. Don't really have much of an issue on special teams. There are some times where there are some stupid penalties, mostly blocking to the back or holding. Didn't really get a lot of that. Although, on special teams, I'm not really liking Chris Thompson. I think in the preseason he was doing well, but that's only because you were going up against guys that were third string, fourth string, guys that probably aren't even in the league right now. So it's easy to do well. But during the first game and throughout this 16-game season, you're coming up against the starters, those guys that make the big bucks and have earned the right to be on the field. So on special teams, Chris Thompson, I know you're probably not going to see this video, but if you do by chance, get your ass up the field. I'm glad that you don't run laterally like Brandon Banks and Randall L. used to do, but all you have to really do is get up the field, find the hole, and hit it with assertiveness. That's what I'm looking for from a returner. I want to see at least 25, 30 yards. And I know in a perfect world, every run back is a touchdown. We're not going to get that. But to be able to at least get the ball and be able to take it out of the end zone if you're going to return it, or at least on a punt return where you don't have to fair catch it, if you can get the ball and get some yardage, on a return, 10, 15 yards before tackle, preferably take it to the house. We all want that as fans for any team, but at least getting more than 6 yards, getting some positive field position for our team. Now, let's go to the offense. Still not seeing a lot of running from Alfred Morris, and that's what's really bothering the shit out of me, because he has all the tools that it takes as long as we're playing, having sensible call plays. And I still think there's a lot that's holding him back, primarily with some of the sweep and pitch plays. I think Alfred Morris, he does a hell of a job when the ball is handed off to him and there's some sort of cutback. Now, he's really good at the one read where he sees a hole and just goes right for it. But all the pitch plays, I just don't feel the offensive linemen have the athleticism to keep on their block and prevent defensive linemen and linebackers from getting in the backfield to make the play short or tackle in the backfield. So I think with those cutbacks, just like when he had his 34-yard run, that was a beautiful cutback. He got open. He doesn't have that breakaway speed like a CJ Spiller, but he's got the wheels, and he got that touchdown. I was very proud of him. I would like to see him get the ball more often because it breaks the will, and I say this on my videos, when we can convert on third downs, which we did a much better job this game, but when we can convert, when we can get some positive yardage and get like second and short, third and short, it really, really plays on the mind of the defense, because when we're continually able to get positive yardage, the defense starts to get tired, they start making mistakes, and next thing you know, that's when the big plays happen. But we're just not getting that with our running game. Also, still not getting a lot of the run game from RG3. I still would like to see more read option plays called from Kyle Shanahan to allow RG3 to take over. We're still trying to make him a pocket passer. He had an interception today, but that was an ill-advised throw when he was scrambling out of pocket. I think he would have done a better job throwing out of bounds just to kill that play because there was nothing there. So that's Robert Griffin III's fault. Now, on his 25-yard scramble where he was about to get into the red zone, he went to slide head first, which could have gotten him killed if the defensive player got overzealous and wanted to take a shot at him, and it wouldn't have been the defender's fault at all. But I think he's still apprehensive about sliding because maybe he's afraid to get his cleats stuck in the turf and tearing his knee up again like it did during the playoff game against the Seahawks. But when I look at Robert Griffin III, yeah, he's not going to have that explosiveness because, running at full speed on that knee, it's going to be a while. And Dr. Andrews, he did intimate that maybe, just maybe, he should have waited until at least week 5 or 6 to come back. But I think he's playing well. He still can play better, make some better decisions. But I still want to see more read option plays that are going to get him out of the backfield with the ball in his hands, which is going to add more confusion to the defense. Now, let's get over to the defense. There's still a lot of problems with the defense. I got a chance to see the corners play more in the face of the wide receivers, which I was happy with, but there were also a lot of quick slants performed by the Detroit Lions, and that's how Calvin Johnson was able to get most of his yardage. In fact, that's how I saw Nate Burleson and the other wide receivers make those plays with those quick slants. There were a few times where there was some cushion, but I didn't really make too much of that because at least I was appeased by seeing the corners play more on the line of scrimmage. But there was still the matter of piss poor tackling. And when that running back, Bell, I think is his last name, he got that touchdown, was it like a 15-yard run or something like that? Our guys were just bouncing off of him, which leads me to Brandon Merriweather. Seeing him, is it Brandon Merriweather? Whatever the case is, our safety, number 31, Merriweather, him not wrapping the tackle, and I know that's a problem for a lot of our defenders, but not wrapping the tackle is killing us. As a defender, getting paid that kind of money, stop throwing your shoulders. Stop trying to throw elbows and forearms into the ball carrier. Hit him to slow his progress. Get your arms around him. If you're going to slide down, at least you get to clamp up on the knees or the ankles and bring the ball carrier down. He is notorious for that, and that's one of the reasons why he got fined $42,000 last week because of his poor execution on his tackles. But overall, the defense is not getting pressure on the quarterbacks, and I think Jim Haslett is waiting too long to change up the game plan on defense. Matthew Stafford had all the time in the world, really didn't get pressured that much, and even though we were blitzing 6 or 7 guys, we still were not getting a lot of hits on him, didn't get any sacks. If we did, maybe one, but we just weren't getting the kind of pressure to force any type of errant throws or mistakes from Matthew Stafford. Like I said, he's got a big arm, and that was very apparent when he threw that laser where Calvin Johnson got it and then got the touchdown near the end of the game, which really killed it for us. But to not be able to get pressure when you're rushing at least 6 or 7 guys, that's a problem that should easily be identified by the defensive coordinator. From there, I think it would have been better inclined to just rush 4 guys, drop the rest of them back into coverage. That way we can have the field covered in the intermediate as well as, in the far backfield with the safeties. But that's the main thing that I saw from this game. We got the Oakland Raiders coming up next. Everyone might think that the Oakland Raiders are a team to beat because they haven't had a stellar record. I think they have a solid defense. It's still a question of how they're going to do on offense. They got Terrell Pryor. He's been waiting to scratch the surface so that he can get a chance to start, and he has. And unfortunately, against our defense, he might start looking like a Tom Brady. So who the fuck knows? But I'm pretty frustrated about that. I'm not going to dwell on it too much because it's just game 3. We got 13 games left. For all you Redskins fans, it's no time to hit the panic button. Definitely no time to have talks about bringing in Kirk Cousins. RG3 can still get the job done, but he is only one player. There's 11 guys on offense, and there's all the wide receivers that have to do their job. The running backs have to do their jobs. The offensive linemen have to run block as well as pass block. So it's not just on RG3's shoulders, like some people might put it on Tom Brady. They're not a strong running game, the Patriots, like the Washington Redskins are. So that's the difference between the two teams. So fuck all the talk about Kirk Cousins coming in. He's a good quarterback, but he only won 1 game. Well, he won 2 games for us. One against the Cleveland Browns last season, and of course the one where RG3 got hurt initially last season against the Ravens. But that doesn't mean that he's an automatic starter. He's a good backup as opposed to Rex Grossman, but he's not going to take the place of RG3. So all the talks of that, people need to stop talking about that. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Living down here in South Texas, I got to hear a whole bunch of shit. The Cowboys won convincingly against a very, very poor St. Louis Rams. So I've got to go to work tomorrow, and I got to hear a whole bunch of shit from that. But I'm going to keep my chin up. I'm going to have all the arrogance in the world because I am a Redskins fan until I die. I'm going to have something burgundy and gold on when I leave out of the house tomorrow to go to work. And if any Cowboy fan comes up to me, I really don't want to give praise to the Cowboys. I'm more inclined to say fuck the Cowboys, and I say that on behalf of all of my Redskins family. But that's just me and the person that I am. Anyhow, it's enough of that. I'm going to go ahead and leave the comment section open so that I can get some feedback from you guys. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you like, subscribe, and share. And to my Redskins family, hail to the Redskins.